Wise.
Hey.
And Carol Harper Poe.
In the house.
How you guys doing?
Great.
Awesome.
Feeling good,
Man.
feeling great. Feeling
Man,
great, feeling good.
It is beautiful outside. It's sunny. This is a great looking day. This is Saturday, and I don't see any games going outside. So, but I do know there's some soccer games going on right now because my daughter's playing there. And so we're glad to be here. Another show. Awesome. Ready to roll.
Yeah.
So our first topic of discussion is external versus internal customers.
Okay, so Dr. James, how do we deal with internal customers?
So if you're an internal customer, what that really means is that you do not need any other source to come up with a decision. Now, once I explain that, most people, subconscious mind is going to already jump on, they're that kind of person. Everybody's going to want to say that person because everybody want to feel like they can make their own decision.
Okay.
But before I say that, I make sure I pay attention to what they really are so I can explain, if I need to, why they're an internal person. But internal person means that they go off of all the things that they gather in their own mind and brain to come up with an answer or a decision on what they want to do. And not that they don't sometimes ask for opinions, but they are able to come up with a decision on their own. Okay. How about you, Miss Carol? What do you think about that?
Well, I follow that cab. Internal customers, I would think like internalizing.
Gotcha.
So, what about you, Miss Brittany?
I was thinking on a whole different plan.
Your mind went to
You said internal customers. I was thinking like in-house, like somebody
Right.
like a circle of influence,
Gotcha.
people that you already know.
Okay.
Gotcha.
Those are your internal customers that you
Right.
really don't have to work hard to,
Right.
try to convince to buy your product.
Right.
That's what I was thinking.
Okay.
No,
So
these
I
are more of the
we talking about the
mindset,
psychological
mindset,
part.
right,
Okay,
mindset.
all right.
With the man, he work with the
Yeah,
mind.
okay.
Right, right.
Okay, we on the psychotherapist, Dr. James.
On the
Yeah,
same page.
and I'm just gonna say something. I can't believe we ain't got no astronomy today, man.
I know. I wanted to give them
You
a
wanted
break.
to give it something different.
Just give them a little something
Man.
different. I got some good stuff
I
for next
wanted to
week.
hear about them rocks blowing up and everything. Dropping and exploding and
That's
everything.
right. Hey, I love to talk about it. I'm gonna have something special next week. though.
Okay, I thought I'd just
Yeah.
throw that in there. Even and watch this, the gun smoke or something.
That's coming. That's coming.
I'm just trying to spice it up a little
I
bit.
love it. I
So
love it.
how do we deal with external customers?
Okay, so an external customer is the opposite. They need other influences to make a decision. And again, when you say that before you analyze a person, they're gonna act like, "Oh, I don't need anyone to tell me. I can do blah." That's not true.
True. Okay.
And so I can tell easily.
Okay.
Because again, it's okay if you're internal and you can ask for opinions because you're trying to make your mind up. That's okay.
Okay.
But an external person
Okay.
always needs other influences.
Okay.
So they have a very hard time making their own decision, and that's
Right.
with sometimes a man or a woman. Like as pertains to a woman, I've heard them say, "Let me see what my husband say. Let me see if they can do."
Right.
That means you're waiting to see if he says it's okay.
Right.
That's not thinking for yourself. That's
Right.
an external person. On the other
Right.
side, I've seen men say, "Well, let me see what my wife say. Let me see if she think this is a good." I understand about the letting people in stuff, but that's a different thing. You can kind of get close to the line of, I'm just trying to fill my partner in on what I'm doing. That's cool.
Okay.
But then somebody says, well, let me talk to my sister. Let me see what my mama say. Let me see what my family say about what I want to do.
Right.
That's external people.
Okay.
So sometimes they don't always come out quite like that.
Right.
And an external person may just say, well, let me think about it. And you don't know exactly what they're doing, but what they may do is call Jill. Hey, Jill, what do you think about Tom? I'm trying to do what you think. How do you think? Then, maybe call 3 people. And if 2 out of 3 or all 3 say, I wouldn't do it because, then they don't do it. They make a decision off of what everyone says instead of they're using their own brain. And so when you say it like that, it sounds negative. So someone is definitely going to always shy away from that. Somebody's going to always say, well, I'm internal. But again, if I'm able to analyze you for a while before I tell you those differences, but the key here, though, to know who they are will help you understand how to treat them.
Right.
What I'm saying is if you know you have an external person, why waste time on a full presentation on that one person? Listen to what if they're saying, well, I wish I brought my husband because and whatever we talk about, I need to let him know that I need to bring my sister because I need to know. Then you need to slow down on the presentation and say, okay, hey, listen, when can we have your husband and your sister here so we can go ahead and go? Because if you can impress the husband and the sister, you got them.
Right. Absolutely.
On the other hand, if you got somebody say, because I've came out and asked people before when they got a girlfriend or a boyfriend, I'll say, hey, can you make this decision, or you need your husband?
That's right.
I'll say that, and
You
they be like, no, I can do it myself. I'm like,
Right.
oh, okay, cool. Then I can give them the presentation
Okay.
because they can decide yes or no.
Okay.
So tell me what y'all think.
And I want to piggyback off of that, and everything you said was true, but when you was talking like that, let me ask my husband, let me ask my wife, and stuff like that, I was thinking of excuses.
Okay.
And I know a lot of times when we have had at the beginning, we had presentation talking on the phone.
Right.
A lot of people make excuses because they don't really want to do it, but they don't want to tell you yes or no.
Right.
So they make excuses. So
Right.
what do you think about that, Miss Brenda?
Well, I'm going to take it a little broader. Oftentimes with external customers, they don't even realize how much of a puppet they may be.
Okay.
In terms of social media drives what they like,
Okay.
TV drives what they believe.
Mm-hmm.
And you see that a lot in all kinds of ways. And it shows up with the person that'll buy the Louis Vuitton purse, but they can't afford to put money in the purse. It's
Absolutely,
like, you know,
absolutely.
it's like, okay, why are you going to pay $7,000 for a purse
Absolutely.
and you don't even you can't even keep $7,000 in your bank account? And that's external customers. That's external thinking
Okay.
in a way that I have to have all this stuff to feel like $1 million or
Right.
to look like $1 million when
Right.
I really have nothing, you know.
Right.
And that's what I think of when Dr. James touched on the psychology of external customers. You need external influences to make your decisions for you. That's what I'm thinking. Like, who makes those decisions for you?
Right.
Is it you internalizing it and really making a decision, or is it your environment that's telling you that you have to have a pair of Jordans on to be worth something, or you know what I'm
Right,
saying? So
right.
that's what I think of as far as external influences.
Right.
And most people shy away from it, but it's so subconscious that they, unless you bring it to their attention, then they'll always find their worth in somebody or something.
Right.
And
right.
and depending on who they have around them, depends on how they structure their decisions.
Right.
So that's my thinking on that. And
Right.
I love it.
am I finally in the psychological part of
You're
it?
on the money. You're on the money.
As you was talking, you said a lot of people have to wear the baton and all this expensive stuff. I always, I heard the slogan, fake it till you make it.
Uh-huh.
You fake it till you make it.
Yeah.
Okay? You look like $1 million.
That's
You
right.
dress like $1 million.
There you go.
And one day you're gonna be $1 million. You
No,
understand?
it's a
You
thin
dress-
line, though.
No, hold on. Yeah, I'm making a point. You dress like $1 million. You don't want to dress like a bum. You don't want
Right.
to look like a bum because
Right.
if your customers see you as a bum, they ain't gonna want to do nothing with you.
Absolutely.
Am I right?
I had my first, I was 20, like I said, I think I started my business around 23. And when I say probably around 25 is when I started really getting into other things other than dent repair. And I started trying to wear suits and stuff. And I remember one time I was wearing a suit in the mall, and I was just out there to pass out cards. And a guy walked up to me, and this did a lasting thing on me. He said, "Hey man, who you work for?"
Uh-oh.
And then I looked at him and said, "Oh," and then before I could say, he said, "You look like an executive or a CEO of a company." I said, "Well, I am. I'm a CEO and executive of my business." I said, "Okay." And that did a lasting effect on me. I was like, man, if you look right, people always assume you're doing, you know what I'm saying? Like you just said.
Yeah.
So I love that.
So
Go ahead.
I'm
Piggyback off it.
just
Come
to
on.
throw a wrench
Come
in it a
on.
little bit. So I'll say the lady that I used to work for, the company I work for, the $1 billion company.
Yes, absolutely.
She donated to a nonprofit that my friend has.
Okay.
We're doing a Christmas drive. She donated to the nonprofit. She only donated $500. Now to a billionaire, $500 is like,
Nothing,
okay,
right.
that's $5.
right.
Nothing.
So, and I asked her, would you like to remain anonymous, or would you like me to give you a shout out on our page, social media? She said, I want to remain anonymous. And it drove me to thinking,
Some people-
when we're, in the small business phase, we want to tell everybody what we
Absolutely.
doing.
Absolutely.
We want to fake it till we make it. We want to
Right.
really put it out there that I'm just big time.
Absolutely.
But then when you hit that mark, usually I want to be quiet. I want to be low key. I don't want nobody to know who I
Right.
am.
they
It's
gonna come
like
at
in reverse. It's
right.
it's a reversal. So really, what's the mindset? Do we really want to just put ourselves out there
Right.
as big time,
Right.
or do we want to be kind of low key and kind of I'm doing a lot, but do I have to just shout it on the rooftop that I'm doing a lot, or do you just see
Right.
my work?
I think that comes from a lot of things, really. It comes from if you're making enough money, if you're a millionaire plus, it don't matter.
Hmm.
It doesn't matter if you understand it. That makes no difference.
Right.
But I think when you're a small business like we are,
Right.
it's one of those deals where you may not be thinking, let me show, but it's one of them deals where you have to self-brand to
Right.
get to
I
that
was
millionaire status. So it's a fine line. Now, a person that wants to be behind the scene, there's nothing wrong with that.
Right.
Person that, because a lot of reasons, they just good with maybe technology or they just don't feel comfortable with,
Right.
But if you're okay with talking, then for a small business, that's probably going to be your better road is to be out there, because how you going to get that far without them knowing who you are.
Right.
But I understand what you mean 100%.
I got
I
one
touche
more.
that.
I got one more. When both of you guys was talking, sometimes, let me address this correct. Sometimes you don't have to look like $1 million, because sometimes you intimidate some people.
Absolutely.
So I wanted
Absolutely.
to bring that point out
That's
too.
true 100%.
But you basically, you just don't want to be walking around with
Right.
raggedy clothes and stuff
Right,
like that.
right.
But if you too overdress, some people will feel intimidated.
Now, we'll say this. That's true, though. Absolutely,
Yeah.
you're right. That part you can't worry about, because out of 1,000 people that see you dressed up, you're going to have about 700 that's going to be impressed with what you look like. You're going to have about 200 that don't really care.
Okay.
But then you're going to have about 100 that are intimidated. You can't worry about that 100 because you got 700 that care.
Exactly.
Right.
And so you can. But again, listen. Sometimes it just depends on the money.
Right.
Like Sam Walton of Walmart,
Right.
he was a $1 billion man when he was branding overalls and all that.
Right.
He don't care because he got it.
Right.
So it's just one of those deals where. But again, on the other hand, that's people that's $1 billion that like to wear their suits, that like to look good. It's just
Right.
always the personality.
You're right.
Yeah.
But obviously, if you
Your
ain't got it,
character.
then you probably want to look as good as you can.
Right.
It's okay to change up,
Right.
like we do. We change
Right.
up a lot. But if you can, especially when you're prospecting,
Right.
you want to look as good as you can look.
And I got something else. The clothes that I'm wearing now, Dr. James,
Mm-hmm.
I've been having for 2 years.
Okay.
2 and 3 years, but people look at me like, whoa, did you buy that? Did you just buy that? Oh, you nice, but these clothes I've been having for 2 years.
Man.
And I'm just not coming out of the closet because, I lost all the weight.
Right.
So this stuff I've been having for years.
I love it.
It ain't I just bought it yesterday.
Right.
So,
I believe you just bought it yesterday, Miss.
well, I'm going to say.
I'm just kidding, Miss Karen.
Gun
Just
smoke.
kidding. Just kidding, Miss Karen. So we're going to move on to, this is one of my good topics here. Salesmen and saleswomen.
All right. So why do people think car sales people are evil? I'm ready for this.
So I hear that a lot
I'm
because
in-
they
I'm
say,
in.
well, I don't want to go. Car salesman, they're just so evil. It's because a lot of times when you run into a good car salesman, any car salesman really, any salesman really,
take the bag.
but they'll come and they'll put pressure on you. That's what sales is all about.
Right.
And they'll come and you may have went there. First of all, they know that you're at least looking for a car. Whether you're really trying to get it that day or just looking, browsing.
Right.
Maybe you have some people go there that just looking just to look for 2 years from now. But even that's the case, you're looking for a car. So a salesperson, reason why they call them that is because of the fact that they feel like they're putting so much pressure on them. And I remember working at Montgomery Ward when I was in my early 20s.
I ain't heard that in
And
a while.
I know, right? And I was 20, 21. And I remember hearing a customer say that, not really about me, but I was always aggressive. But I remember her saying that some of y'all salespeople here, y'all just evil. I mean, you don't give us time to walk around and look, and you just stay on, oh, ma'am, can we help you? And I'm like, so that's where that comes from. That's why they think salespeople can be evil.
Okay,
You got anything on that, Miss Brittany, in this case?
Yeah.
I got something, but Dr. James is something else. It said, why do people think
Tickling me
car
today.
salesmen are evil? Well, actually, just like us, marketing and trying to sell something. We trying to make a sale.
That's right.
They got to get that commission.
That's right.
So they gonna do whatever they do. They gonna talk you fast, and they gonna write it down good. And by the end of you get it, you gonna pay $15,000 more with all the interest and all of that. But they
Right.
only told you they're gonna give you for this amount. But when all those taxes and stuff,
Right.
and then the finances of the bank and all of that.
Right.
But you're just trying to make a sale.
Just trying to make a sale.
So, well, first off,
I know she got some good points.
yeah,
there.
Usually they can make you feel good.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So you might have wandered and stumbled into the dealership, but they can talk it to you right and make you feel good about the new car smell and all that. You can trade it in and you can get this value and da 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 da. Yeah, they gonna make you feel good. But then when you get that first car payment and that debt show and that APR rate, yeah, you realize you in debt and you just upside down on this car as soon as you drive it off the lot.
Absolutely.
So now you projected your own fears onto that doggone car salesman. Well, you still signed on the dotted line. You still made a decision.
5 years.
Right. Some people 7, depending on,
I know.
now they got some
$600,
crazy, now they got some
$800
crazy loans.
That's right.
Them,
got
now they got the
credit.
tote the notes where you buy a limit, you buy the car as is. You
Right,
drive,
Right.
it's some, but that's people who don't make good decisions
Right.
financially,
Right.
and then they blame others for their decisions.
Right.
Absolutely.
Right.
Absolutely.
So that's why car salesmen are evil, apparently.
Okay.
So what makes a good salesperson, Dr. James?
Well, what makes a good salesperson, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I want you to listen to my gun smoke
Guns-
next.
through with you.
Well, I can use some extra cash also.
You didn't call? I need. I'm retired and still can't make ends meet. What can we do?
Let me show you how to make this money. Embassy Enterprises presents Better Income Store. That's fast learning, fast earning. College takes 2 to 4 years, 20,000 plus. We take 2 to 4 weeks and only cost hundreds. Start making money fast. Call now at 469-765-5327 or go to services at sh.18mbc.com.
All right, we are back. Glad to have you, Dr. James McConnell's The Small Business Network. We're back on the topic, what makes a good salesperson? Listen to my gun smoke. A good salesperson has to be consistent, persistent, and sometimes overbearing. Now, can you be a salesperson and not be that? Well, yes, but how good you're going to be, how much sales you're going to make depends on the things that I just said. Like I remember when I was, I was probably 21 and I was working at this place called Rex TV. And it was a place that sold big screen TVs and washing dryers, stuff like that. I remember when customers, when they would come in, it was me and maybe 10 guys worked there. Mm-hmm. And so the top 2 guys, because there was only 2 Rexes, one in that state, that city, and one in another city. And as far as volume was concerned, I probably was number 2. But as far as extended warranty sales, I was number 1 in the world of Rex. I mean, that's like 50 more in other states, but only 2 in that state. Okay. Now, at that time, I wasn't thinking about trying to be that. I was just, when customers, when they would come in, salespeople, you have to almost go dive on them, you know, because it's normally 5 or 6 at a time. So you look and you be aggressive and you go. And so I would go, but what made me good with the warranty is when I talked to the customer, I really wouldn't talk much about the TV. I would say, tell me about this TV. I said, that's a 50-inch Sony. It's really nice. But let me tell you about the warranty. I get to the warranty so fast. They love it. And so they wanted you to sell the warranty at a 8% clip, which was average. Okay. They said if you got it to 10, you're doing well. I was selling it at 42%. What? And I had the store manager come to me one time and say, he asked me what I was doing. He said, can you tell me exactly what you're doing? So I went through every step of it. I said, well, when they come to talk about this wash and dryer, this TV, I spend 10 seconds talking about that. Then I said, let me tell you about the warranty. You have to have the warranty because it's 5-year warranty. It's only blah, blah. So I add in the price of the warranty immediately. And then what happened is when we get to the time to do the sale, most people allow me to put the 5-year warranty in, and then one said, well, I don't really want 5 years. Okay, well, you have to get 3. And then I go to 3, and then they'll let me do that. Someone said, well, I don't want any warranty. Okay, well, you got to go 2. And then some of them will let me do that. Some of them say, well, I don't want that warranty. Well, you can't leave out here without 1. You got to have a 1-year warranty. You just can't do it. And most of them had to get something from me. On occasion, they wouldn't, and I just said, okay. But when I told them that, he said, I want you to train the other salespeople.
He's the new trainer.
Now, there was this other guy there, his little short guy's name was Gary, and he was always kind of the last, out of 10, he was number 8 or 9 or 10 all the time as far as sales. He'd say, man, how you getting all these sales? And keep in mind, I'm 21. So it was not like I was at my wisest, but I just said, well, man, when they come in, I go. Because he would kind of do it like a timid person. He kind of like, kind of move slow. Now, the other guy that was second to me, he would be aggressive, but if he was in front of me, I couldn't get through. But if he was back over here, I'm going to beat him to it. So me and him was kind of always battling. So to be a good salesperson, you have to be consistent, persistent, but more importantly, you have to be really aggressive, and you have to be able to follow up. That's another main thing because, like, if you're selling a car and all that, if you talk to 20 people's not going to buy a car that day. Right. Probably none, maybe 1. Right. That's the easy one, though. What helps you is when you keep 4 or 5 of their phone numbers and you call them the next week and call them the week after and the week after and the week after. You ready to come? Well, no, I told you it's going to be January. Okay, sorry. Call back in late December. Hey, I know January's coming up. The money is in the follow-up
Right.
a lot of times. And you have to, because most people don't follow up right. They don't go back to the customer. You might make a sale and don't even think about them no more, but who's best to sell to than the person that was excited
Right.
about you anyway?
Right.
The one that
Right.
bought from you from the start.
Right.
But people think, oh, they spend money, so you just move on and you don't think about them, but those are your loyal customers.
Right.
But as
Exactly.
pertains to new people,
Right.
you just have to come across in a credibility way. So what makes a good salesperson? That does. Being persistent
Okay.
and aggressive.
All right, so there's a difference between a good salesperson and a quality salesperson.
Okay, I'm
Okay.
ready for this. I'm ready. For
No,
Come on.
don't gas me up, Miss Carol. So for me, I mean, almost you can train a monkey to sell you bananas, right? You can almost train anybody to be a good salesperson, but to be a quality salesperson, you need to make sure you listen to the needs of the individual. You ask questions. Like, there's something about getting people to talk about themselves.
Right.
It is magical. Like,
Right.
when you let somebody talk about themselves and you intently like listen to them, they love you forever.
Absolutely.
It's something about you I really like. Oh, okay, I'm just listening to you talk. Like really, if you fit your business in their needs,
Absolutely.
you'll always have a customer. You ain't even got to really sell nothing. If you can just show how, I'm like, I think it was T.D. Jakes I heard talk about he was telling a sermon, and his whole thing was, he was talking about a key, and he was like, this
Right.
key has been bent and cut and chiseled to fit a particular
Right.
hole to open a door. He said, Lord, make me the answer.
Okay.
And that's truly where, that was my prayer. Lord, make me the answer. I don't have to do much selling if I'm the answer to whatever you've been praying for.
Okay.
Right. Right.
You see what I'm saying? So but listening to somebody and fitting your business in their needs makes the
Absolutely.
difference in
Absolutely.
the sale. Compassion and a strong work ethic goes a long way. People appreciate strong work ethic.
Absolutely.
Even if they lazy.
Right.
If you see that they see that you work, you go do what they appreciate that. And that's something that a salesperson, like, it's one thing to be, aggressive. It's another thing to work hard. And
Okay.
people see that work
Absolutely.
ethic a lot of times. And of course, to be enthusiastic. If you can't sell nothing,
Right.
if you ain't excited about it, ain't nobody else gonna be excited.
That's right. Absolutely.
All right. I'm gonna be the bad guy.
Okay.
Can I be the bad guy today?
Be the bad guy.
Okay.
Give us the gun smoke.
I'm gonna give y'all the rifleman.
I want to hear.
Okay, so I hear y'all, I understand y'all, but I know I have a lot of customers to say that, because Dr. James is teaching me to just, like he talk about, follow up, blah, 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 call them back, da-da-da-da. But some of your customers see your number and won't answer your phone because
Right.
they say you are annoying.
Right.
But,
Right.
but you're only trying to sell them and follow up. But a lot of customers, I know. Okay, come on, let's be real. Telemarketing.
Right.
When telemarketing
Right.
call you, or even when somebody, not anybody in our group, or somebody is selling something on the outside, and they're gonna get back with you, but
Right.
you're saying, let's go Jehovah's Witness.
Right.
They knock
Right.
on your door.
Yeah.
Sometimes we say they're annoying. So think
Right.
of that a business.
Right.
You could be annoying sometimes,
Right.
and you really don't know it, but you're only trying to make a sale
Right.
to get the money.
I think that goes with what we said on the last topic. You're gonna have 1,000 people to follow up on.
Right.
You're gonna have 200 that's gonna be annoyed by you.
Yes.
Because it's going
Right.
to happen. But you're gonna have 500 that's gonna buy from you because you kept going
Right.
back,
Going
to,
back
them.
to 'em.
So you can't worry
can't give
about
up.
the ones that is annoyed. If they're
know what?
annoyed, they're just not gonna
I
work.
guess my mindset a little different
Come
because
on with it.
when people solicit to me, I want to hear everything they got to say. Like,
Okay.
what you got to sell to me today? I want to hear
Right.
your whole speech.
Right.
I want to hear, because one, I'm gonna see what I can take out of it and
Right.
put it in my own
There
stuff.
you go.
And two, you a business person. We might be able to connect somehow
And that's
in
what
the
I
future.
do a lot too.
Right.
But
So-
it is one person that she's right about.
Yeah, they
It's
just
one
ain't gonna-
person. Guess what that is? The Jehovah Witness. You know how you go to the door? Listen, y'all both get
I'm
it.
not-
You go to the window, you look, and you see that pen in their hand, and they knock on there and you say,
I'm not at home.
I like Jehovah's Witness too. Look,
I like.
But serious.
I had a lady she used to buy my bread for me when I had my Sara Lee bread truck.
Right.
And I would take the bread, and you would take the bread out of the store. We usually sell it to back to the company for them to sell it somewhere else.
Right.
I just, she had like a foster care program or something.
Right.
She would just come buy all the bread. She was a Jehovah's Witness. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like,
But we need to follow up. We need to do like them. They persistent.
There you go.
Right.
We
They
got
very
you saying.
persistent.
They'll go door to
And
door.
they go two to two.
and
two
they,
by
yeah,
two.
they
I
look.
ain't got no problem with that.
And they knocking on
I don't have
doors. They
anything
knocking on the
against them. I'm
door.
just saying we
Right.
do that.
Absolutely.
We absolutely. Let's just tell the truth.
Door
about it.
knocking
So we do
is
that.
hard work.
So,
That's right. Well, I want to get into passion for your craft.
All right. Should you have passion for your craft?
You should. Okay, now there's some answers to this that I can't wait to get into, but you should have passion for your craft, but it's not a necessity.
Okay.
You should have passion for your craft, but it's not an end-all, make-all. It's not a necessity.
Okay.
All right, go ahead.
Okay.
Because you may have a question why, and then I'll answer.
I was thinking of you have to break this down for me. What
It
if I don't
depend-
know what you're talking about? Should you have passion for your craft? Break
Okay,
that down for
so
me a
I
little bit
guess
more.
most people want to follow their passion, right? Most people
Okay.
say follow your passion
Yes.
and what you want to do.
Okay.
And there's nothing wrong with that. I mean,
Okay.
that's really great. That's the best of both worlds.
Okay.
But if you're going to be an entrepreneur, not a business owner, I mean, if
Okay.
you're going to have different streams of income,
Okay.
if everything you do is a passion, that's great.
Okay.
But everything I do is not a passion. It don't matter. Meaning, if your passion makes you $10 and something that don't is a passion makes you $1,000, you need to make that a passion somehow. Now, can you grow to make it a passion? Yeah, the money will make you make it a passion.
Right.
But the point is that I'm trying to say is, out of 40 things I do, is probably 6 things that I really have a passion for.
Okay.
The other 32 things is just things that I do. And I've grown to, of course, I've become professional at all of them, but I don't have to have a passion to want to make the money. Okay? So there's a difference, because sometimes you might have a passion in something that first of all, any passion that you have in any business, that's the best thing.
Okay.
If you have the passion in it, that's the best thing you can do.
Okay.
But it doesn't mean if you don't have a passion in this other thing, but you want to do it. I'm not saying if you have something against it. If
Okay.
you don't like it, then no, you don't do it.
Okay.
But I'm saying if you're doing something else that you don't mind doing, you kind of like it, and it makes you money, you don't have to love it and have a passion to do that other thing. It's okay to do it
okay.
if you like it. So yeah.
Okay.
Miss
So
Bree.
I think that's where personality types come in, Dr.
Right,
James.
right,
'Cause
right.
Dr. James is a Ruby. He's that pit bull that I was talking about last time. That he's motivated by a challenge and motivated by
Right.
money.
Right.
So the more money he make, the more passionate he is. Okay, like
Right,
that's pretty much
right,
what that
right.
is. So he can find passion in anything that's gonna keep his pockets flooded.
Right.
That's
right.
Dr. J's personality
Right,
type.
right,
Okay,
right, right.
Not everybody is wired that way.
Right,
Not everybody
that's
got the
true.
same
Absolutely.
personality type.
That's true.
So when you start dealing with, okay, what's your passion, it can kind of go all over the place depending on who you're talking to.
That's true.
Absolutely.
So for somebody that's a pearl, I'm talking about the Danny Johnson,
Right.
personality types. But somebody that's a pearl who, is motivated by helping people, they don't care how much money they make. They just want to love everybody and make sure
Right.
everybody feel good. So
Right.
their passion is in people.
Right.
Now, if they can center whatever business they do around helping people, then that is their passion.
Right.
But if the more ways that they help people or have businesses that help people, that's passionate for them.
I mean, I believe that's a double-edged thing, and you're 100% right. But I believe that, one thing is true in this world, whether you want to make it or not. If you ain't got money, you're not
can't
going to do
make
good here on this
Absolutely.
planet. A lot of
Absolutely.
people kill themselves because they don't have it. Some kill themselves because they got it. But that's a lot of reasons. The point is, in this world, if you live in a house or apartment, you got to pay for it. You got a car, you got to pay for it.
Yes.
You got to pay it, period.
Yes.
No matter what you say, you got to pay.
Absolutely.
But I agree with you 100% on the part of you have to have a passion to help people. Now, that's
Right.
the part where I believe with you 100%. Even though the personality you think is just about that part, it's really about focusing, even if it is about trying to make money, if you focus on helping people in what they're doing, right? Especially if you're a business that's trying to help a business.
Okay.
If you're a person trying to help a person, it just depends on what they're trying to do. That's why you're supposed to listen to what they're saying.
Absolutely.
If someone comes to you about making money
Okay.
and they don't have a business, well,
Right.
see if they want to get into business, see if they want to just make money doing this, or doing that.
Right.
So even though you're coming at them because you're a business and you want to make their money, if you show the passion toward them, show them, hey, I want to help you make this money. On the other hand, if you're talking to a business, same thing. If you show them how to help them grow their business, even though you're still a business, you still want to make money for your services. So
Right.
you still is, the money is going to drive it one way or the other.
Right.
But if you're really focused on them and say, hey, let me go far and beyond what is required of me to do. Let me do this. But no, I agree with you 100%. It can look a certain way, and somebody that's totally driven by just money and not really wanting to help people, then they may have a problem. But the ones that want to make money but they're willing to help people far and beyond, then those are the ones that, because no one does anything other than, charity stuff. No one does anything in business just to help people. It's to do both. No one, I don't care what they say, they're not doing it.
Well, I will.
Hold
Go
on,
ahead. Go ahead, Ms.
I
Carol.
got something on that.
Look.
I put 5 on it.
Come on.
Okay?
Put 5 on it.
I put 5 on it. But I heard y'all. I got y'all. So from my experiences, when you work for a company, you go in there and you making money and you helping the company making money. But if that company see that you're all out for them,
Right.
that's what they like.
That's right.
You understand what I'm saying? But having a passion, it said, if you don't have a passion, should you pursue that craft? I'm not saying if you don't want to do it. Some things you just don't want to do.
Right. You don't want to do it, you don't
Some
want to do
things,
it.
if you make a decision, you have to have your own mind. You don't allow other people to make up your own mind.
Right.
If you feel like you don't want to do it and this is not what you want to do and you're just going to be, I don't think you should just be real and be honest and say, hey, this is not for me. Maybe at another time.
Right.
But other money, you need money to buy things.
Right.
Just like what you was talking about.
In this world. Right, in this
you
world.
need money, but let's not forget about favor. You
Absolutely.
got favor with God and man.
Absolutely.
Right.
I agree.
Sometimes favor with, I know, hallelujah, I'm in now. Sometimes favor will go much more than the money.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Because people will come and say, hey, they'll drop this in your pocket. They'll drop that in your pocket. Hey, you was on my mind the other day, and I just want to give you this.
Right.
You understand what I'm
Right.
saying? So, okay.
Okay,
now-
so we're going to talk about CDH's podcast next when we come back.
Hello everyone, I am Dr. James, host of Dr. James McConnell's The Small Business Network, broadcasting live each week on Saturday at 1 p.m. from Fishbowl Radio Network Studios at Globe Life Park in Arlington, Texas. Log on to hear us talk about and feature small businesses and the life of a small business, the struggles, the triumphs, the daily operation, the grind of starting and running a small business. So be sure to log on each week on Saturday at 1 p.m. to catch Dr. James McConnell's The Small Business Network. Let's jump in.
I take these journeys, they tear my system down. Tried so hard to keep you out. I went crazy by myself, crying alone. Anxiety, it keeps me on the edge, close to jumping off this ledge. I sip perp to clear my head. Since you've been gone, these sad knees, they tear my system down. Tried so hard to keep you out. I went crazy by myself, crying alone. Spaced out, staring at the ceiling, talking to my demons. Ask for a reason why I feel the way I'm feeling. sex without no meaning. I like to keep a hostage to my style beating. Now I try so hard to stay medicated, so I don't have to face the wrong I've done. I take these enemies, they tear my system down. Try so hard to keep you out. I went crazy by myself, crying alone. Anxiety, it keeps me on the edge, close to jumping off this ledge. I sit perfectly in my head since you've been gone. These endings, they tear my system down. Try so hard to keep you out. I'm doing crazy by myself, crying alone. Anxiety, it keeps me on the edge, close to jumping off this ledge. It hurts to clear my head since you've been gone. Since you've been I try so hard to stay medicated, so I don't have to face the wrong I've done. To play things I need, they make me anti-social to my system. Anti-social.
Hello everyone, I am Dr. James, host of Dr. James McConnell's The Small Business Network, broadcasting live each week on Saturday at 1 p.m. from Fishbowl Radio Network Studios at Globe Life Park in Arlington, Texas. Log on to hear us talk about and feature small businesses and the life of a small business, the struggles, the triumphs, the daily operation, the grind of starting and running a small business. So be sure to log on each week on Saturday at 1 p.m. to catch Dr. James McConnell's The Small Business Network. Let's jump in.
Let's jump in. We back. We are
back.
back. Listen to our Gunsmoke and how sweet it is.
Oh, yeah.
How sweet it is. We want to get into Miss Carol's podcast. Brittany?
So, Miss Carol, you got a podcast that you had a few podcasts, but from my understanding, you're collaborating these podcasts. Am I right?
Absolutely, that is correct, Miss Brittany. Thank you for asking that. So my first podcast came out, the CDH podcast, Tell It Like It Is, Be Real.
Okay.
It came out just before the COVID.
Okay.
And the topic was supposed to be around the COVID, but God told me, no, you just want to make it open for everybody to speak on anything professionally, and as the Lord lead them to speak. And CDA Predestined Podcast was launched last week, and this is just it's semi. I was listening to Oprah one day, and she was talking about a new book. I don't know if it's Cast, C-A-S-T. It was a book club, and then it just popped in my spirit to do CDA Predestined Podcast. It's a semi-book club, but it's dealing with books. If you want to write a book, you got questions about a book or something like that. But what I did was I merged these two together. So if you look up these two, you might see CDH podcast, Tell It Like It Is, Be Real, and you might see CDH Predestined Podcast, and they might merge together once you finish the Predestined Podcast. It may run into the CDH podcast, Tell It Like It Is, Be Real.
Okay.
Now, this month in November was birthed CDH Ministries.
Oh.
What that is something that God put in my spirit of semi-walking in my calling that I've been putting off 20 plus years.
Oh, Lord.
So through all the turmoil and the struggles and the trials that you go through, some things are birthed out through those trials.
Absolutely.
So CDH Ministries was birthed. Now, You want to hit on the books or just keep
Go
flowing?
ahead.
Okay.
Do your thing.
Now the books, it's like it goes with the podcast, CDH Predestined Podcast. Interested in writing a book and publishing a book, and the audio book, Carol's Publishing Company, and the podcast is Anchor.com, Spotify, and etc. Because you can go on all like radio, all these things that you can listen to the podcast that they have.
Okay.
And basically, I want to let the audience know, CDH Podcast, Tell It Like It Is, Be Real, was only going to be on Friday.
Okay.
Hey, you might get CDH Podcast Predestined. So basically, when the merger needs together, don't be looking for one. You might just get the other.
Okay.
I just want to put that out to the audience.
All right,
So
cool.
you can look us up on email, Carol's Publishing Company 17 at gmail.com, or you can call us at 469-778-8682 or 469-643-6498. And our business website is caroldharper.com. Our Facebook is Carol's Publishing Company, or you can search under Carol Harper.
Okay.
And Twitter and Instagram.
All right, cool.
How sweet
So do
it
you have
is.
any specials?
Well, I'm always running a
I
special.
know.
I'm always running a special. Well, the October month just ended, and I'm still going into the October month with an audio book narrated by me, $1.99, and you can email me or inbox me, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and it's $1.99. You pay for it, and I send you the audio. And also, let's not forget, Justice for All Equality is out. You know, we just got this. Okay. We just got the new president in office today, Justice for All Equality.
Nice. Okay, cool. So, Dr. James, you want to talk about the movies on your
Oh,
NBC's
okay. Well,
list?
yeah. So actually, guys, if you go to Dr. James TV, drjamestv.com, you're able to go watch at least 4 movies that are there right now. And the reason why I'm just saying 4, because I put movies there up on request. So for people that want to see certain movies, and let's say that you don't want to go to YouTube and have to scroll around and try to find the full movie, and it takes you 15 or 30 or 45 minutes to find it, you let me know what movie you want to see. I'll get it put there on the web TV, which is NBC Global Enterprises Web TV. We'll get you to go there and watch it at your own discretion. All you gotta do is just click on the link, your movie will start like that. Right now, the movies that are there, I'm not gonna say, you just have to go and look at it. It's drjamestv.com.
Okay, cool.
All right.
So, again, you can write into the gold mine at BrittanyWise@gmail.com. Again, it's BrittanyWise@gmail.com. So, I had a friend of mine, I spoke to her a while ago. She lost her son to suicide.
Oh, I'm
He was
sorry to hear
17
that.
years
Oh,
old.
my God.
He was a senior in high school, and the story is kind of unique because usually when you think of a child committing suicide, you think of the kid in the back of the room that don't have friends. Well, he was actually crowned the homecoming king.
Wow.
So he had lots of friends.
Right.
Wow.
And it was a shock to everybody when he took his life. So she started speaking to schools about what's the life like after suicide for the rest of the family that you leave behind.
Right.
And she asked me, okay, how do I make this into a business? How do I make money with this? So I gave her a few tips. This is what I do with the gold mine.
Right.
You tell me what your business is. I give you ideas on how you can make money. So I told her, she wanted to do T-shirts. I told her to contract with the suicide prevention services, and they'll buy your T-shirts. You can contract with the schools. Most of the ISDs have different programs where they bring people in and they'll pay you, and they put you on the payroll, or they'll give you a contract. She can do vendor shows, sell merchandise, speak at teaching events, workshops. There's a lot of times there's a disconnect between a parent not understanding what their child is going through,
Right.
or they'll downplay what their child's going through. So I told her to do workshops, bringing parents and kids together, so you can bridge that gap in the communication area.
Wow.
And then just partnering with counselors and those who provide
Right.
counseling services. So those are some ideas that I gave her for her company, Drew's Compassion. So
I love
right to the gold mine, I can do the same for you, free of
Okay.
charge.
it. I love it.
That's
So,
nice.
having said that, everything that you guys just heard, all the listeners and the viewers, by using Miss Carol's business or using Miss Brittany's business or using Dr. James' businesses, the bottom line is, if you use us, we try to reward our customers.
Absolutely.
So anybody uses us from this day on, I'm not even talking about for the next month. And I do know also Miss Carla Murphy. She is an integral part of this machine, which is NBC Global Enterprises, partner CEO and partner CEOs that's sitting in here right now. We are going to give away a Amazon Fire TV stick and an Amazon iPad, right, to anyone that uses our services.
Nice.
That's all they have to do. Use one of ours or call whichever number you need. My number is 469-765-5327. My number is 469-765-5327. You call any one of those numbers that you heard to use any service. And keep in mind, you're using it because you need the service, right? Well, think about it. When you go out to eat at Chili's, they don't give you any nice gift because you came there. They just say, thank you for coming. Thank you for dining, right?
That's right.
Well, you dine with us. You dine with us, and guess what? We're going to give you what I just told you, plus a restaurant gift card to eat on us at Chili's or Applebee's,
Okay.
right?
Wow.
And or a $200 gift card just
Can't
because
beat
you're
that.
using
Nice.
us. Okay?
Can't beat
And I'm gonna tell you something else. Let's say you call us and don't use us. Let's say you call us and we go through the prices and you don't use us. Well, guess what? I'm gonna give you a $200 gift card just because you called and checked us out.
What you say?
Now, how you like that? Listen
Nice.
to our gun smoke.
What you say?
We're at the end of this show, guys. This is such a wonderful show. Good day at Dr. James McConnell's, the Small Business Network, and our co-hosts Brittany Wise and Carol Harper Poe. Goodbye and good day.
See you later.
Welcome to the Small Business Network Show. Welcome to Dr. James Small Business